Hey, it's me, Jimmy, and welcome to this week's episode of The Flash. It has been 5 weeks since The Flash has been on TV, and we've been on a break because all the shows have been on a break, and we just things might look a little different, and that's because we are using our overlay that we use for our weekly podcast that is starting back up this week. Our podcast is over on Twitch. The link for that is in the description below. You can see chat is going because Ali is live on our Twitch at the moment. Um, so, and we're going to talk about this on the podcast this week. But The Flash, this episode, it had parts I really enjoyed. But then there's this big elephant in the room that makes it where I really don't enjoy it as I should. Okay?
So, I'm here.
Yes.
I'm never here.
You're never here. That's why we're using this layout.
And the only reason I'm here, to get to TLDR, for those of you who don't know, to catch me up on the speed of my thing of Flash, I liked it to start with. I think everybody did. Everybody thought when it first started with it outbeat Arrow. It was the reason you watch these types of shows. As the years gone on, it has gotten mixed, you know? And I have kind of become like most of its general audiences that start with it, that I stopped watching it, mostly because there are better shows, and it's really hard to go back to something like Flash when you know that there are shows like, just running off, for example, Daredevil, Doom Patrol, Swamp Thing, uh, Mandalorian, um, uh, Iron Fist. I mean, not Iron Fist, like Luke Cage.
Yeah, don't fucking
You
mention
know,
Iron Fist. That show's garbage.
well,
But,
season one's garbage. Season two is actually pretty decent, because they
okay.
actually get Danny Rand correct.
But let's get
But
into the actual Flash episode tonight. I'm just going to tell you the parts I really enjoyed. I enjoyed Flash dealing with him losing his speed, because the colors changing shows, okay, Barry is using his speed to think of a plan to figure out ways that he can actually save his Speed Force. I also enjoyed the Cisco and all. Like, I love that side storyline because that seems like old school Flash.
I liked Barry actually being a forensic, because you know what it reminded me of? So I'm playing through the PS4 Spider-Man game,
Mm-hmm.
and it reminds me of those scenes where you cut at like Peter Parker at his job, and
Mm-hmm.
he's actually being a fucking scientist, and you forget, oh yeah, there's a reason he's as smart as he is.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it feels like. And there's been moments in the show where they were like, they kind of they're so wrapped around the Flash stuff that you forget that no, Barry Allen is actually probably one of the best forensic scientists in the DCEU,
Yeah.
like the DC universe.
Yes.
You know,
Um, and Barry thinking like that and working like that. I mean, we got a lot of that back in the first two seasons of The Flash.
we
And
even got a comeback in, what was it, the beginning of, from what I would glance on YouTube. What was it, season 5 or 6, where he was like starting to lose his powers, and so like he would literally, they would attack like the precinct, and Barry would use his actual like forensic like brain to, I'm not going to use my powers to defeat them. I'm going to use actual science.
yes.
You know,
And overall, if I was going to give this episode a rating, 4,
I'd give it a meh.
a meh.
A
My
meh.
dude, we 1 through 10. You giving it a meh?
A meh would be a 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's definitely below average. Um,
It is definitely something that, even not seeing this show for a while, trying to come back in, you kind of get this general feeling of, yeah, now I see why I didn't really stick around.
yeah, and if I was going to say what my favorite DC shows on the CW were, it would honestly be the Sunday night block of Batwoman and Supergirl, because Batwoman is new, it's exciting. You have all these the darker storylines that Batwoman is bringing to the CW, and it sort of feels a little bit like how Arrow did originally.
Mine would probably have to be Supergirl, mostly just because fucking Lex steals the damn show.
Lex, did you see about the Superman tweet? So Superman,
Yeah.
his birthday was this week. It was yesterday, and John Cryer retweeted the thing saying, "I don't think he's that good of a man."
No, he's great. He's amazing. John Cryer, to me, I fucking love him as Lex.
Yeah.
And honestly, my second favorite show, for when I watch it, like as it's running on now, is probably Legends, because Legends has reached a point to where we know we're this campy, silly, goofy type of show. So they've tripled down on it, and they play it totally serious.
Yeah.
Like, it is the most comic booky thing you're gonna see on this show without actually watching like the streaming service.
Yeah. And
You know?
Stargirl is going to be interesting because it was originally made for the streaming service. So I feel like
But it
it's
makes you
going to.
wonder, will they go back and rework it for CW?
Well, they can't because of Corona. So the first season is going to be how it is. So let us know in the comments below what you thought of the episode. Again, we are going to be doing our weekly podcast over on Twitch. Link to that is in the description below. Come on over, talk with us about what you think of the different superhero movies and TV shows, and I'll be back. I don't know if Cody will be, but I'll be back Sunday for Batwoman, the return of Batwoman. And thank you so much for watching. And like always, I will see you in the next one. Later.